I got to tell you, we are dangerously close to this league getting boycotted. That's where we're at. I saw rumblings of a boycott yesterday of a legit Caitlin Clark fan base across the board not watching the Indiana Fever tomorrow night. Not watching it. And Stephanie White did confirm that, by the way. And she's made several comments. It makes you want to puke throughout, but we're going to listen to them nonetheless. Let's go. Let's go here. Right here.
I guess just first off, how is Caitlin after Wednesday and you have the empty?
Yeah, she's okay. She's gonna be out on Saturday, but she's doing all right.
Continuously. This is Stephanie White on her having coached Alyssa Thomas previously. David A. Clark, who is a retired sheriff from Milwaukee County. He's black, by the way. Imagine if white baseball players treated Jackie Robinson when he broke into the league like the black lesbians are treating heterosexual white Caitlin Clark. Woo! Keeping it real. White. At what point are y'all going to get angry and be like, one game is a fucking joke? A one-game suspension is a joke. Alyssa Thomas should be suspended a minute. The appropriate response was anything between 10 games and the end of the season. Just get the bleep out of here. We don't need you. What in the big course of WNBA history and in Business 101, what is Alyssa Thomas to anybody? Nothing. I did last year. I'm not. Well, I'll figure it out how I'm going to cover the league and videos on other sports at the same time. I'll be damned if I sit through dribble, shoot, and have to, no, fuck that. I figure she'll be back on.
Welcome back to WNBA Trends, where we break down what really happened beyond the headlines. Right now, the Indiana Fever fan base is threatening a boycott. Not a complaint, not anger, an actual organized boycott of tomorrow night's game. That's the reality on the ground, and it's not happening in a vacuum. It's happening because Caitlin Clark just got knocked out of action by an incident that the league's response made infinitely worse. So here's what actually went down. During Wednesday's game, Clark took a hard blow to the throat from Alyssa Thomas. This wasn't a battle for position. This was excessive, and the result was a perforated eardrum that's now sidelined the league's biggest asset right when momentum is supposed to be building. The injury alone would be serious, but what happened after the injury is what fractured the entire fan base. Stephanie White, the Fever's head coach, was asked directly about Clark's status, and her response was technical. Clark's out Saturday, she's okay, fine. But when pressed on whether she saw the Alyssa Thomas incident in real time, White gave an answer that changed everything. She said she didn't actually witness what happened. When she went back and reviewed the tape, she was surprised. But the official wasn't surprised. The official didn't call it at all. Think about that for a second. Your star player just suffered an injury significant enough to sideline her from the next game. The opposing player was penalized with a one-game suspension, a single game, and the head coach is casually explaining that she didn't actually witness what happened. The disconnect between what the fan base saw and what was clearly excessive and what the league's official response communicated is massive. One-game suspension for an incident that caused a perforated eardrum. In most professional sports, that's barely a fine. In the WNBA, it was treated like a minor infraction. Here's where this becomes a business problem and not just a sports problem. The WNBA just locked in massive media rights deals. Sponsors are investing in Caitlin Clark. Networks are restructuring their schedules around her games. The league has built an entire marketing strategy around protecting and showcasing this player. And then an incident happens, she gets hurt, And the response is so weak that the fan base doesn't believe the league actually prioritizes her safety. That's not a coaching issue. That's not a scheduling issue. That's a credibility issue. When fans see an injury that sidelines the star player for games and the responsible party gets suspended for one game, the message the league sends is clear. We don't care enough to protect our biggest asset. And when you don't protect your biggest asset, why would fans invest their time and money? The boycott narrative didn't come from nowhere. It came from a specific, measurable failure to respond proportionally to an incident that had measurable consequences.
Stephanie White's public comments made this worse, not better. She kept talking like she was managing a routine foul in a pickup game. Clark's okay, she'll be back soon, no big deal. But Clark's injury was significant enough that she can't play. That's not no big deal. That's a legitimate consequence that required a legitimate response from the league, and it didn't get one. The fans noticed. They noticed immediately. This is happening at a moment when the WNBA is supposed to be in growth mode. Caitlin Clark was supposed to be the face of an expansion era. Her rookie season was supposed to build momentum into the playoffs and beyond. And instead, we're watching conversations about whether the league can even protect the player they've built their entire marketing strategy around. The one-game suspension for Alyssa Thomas sent a signal that the league doesn't take player safety seriously when it affects their commercial interests. Because here's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. If this happened to a veteran role player instead of Caitlin Clark, nobody would be talking about it. But it happened to the league's most valuable asset, and suddenly everyone's paying attention. The Fever organization could have responded in several ways. They could have pushed back on the suspension length. They could have made safety statements that actually sounded like they meant something. They could have shown the fan base that they were as upset about the injury as the fans were. Instead, Stephanie White sounded confused about what happened, the team moved on, and the fans were left holding the bag. This is also about how the league's culture is perceived. For decades, the WNBA has been known for physical play. Let them play. It's part of the identity. But the eyes of the world shifted when Caitlin Clark arrived. The league suddenly had a different audience paying attention, and that audience has different expectations about what professional basketball looks like and how stars get protected. The traditional WNBA fan base and this new audience are not on the same page about what constitutes acceptable physicality. When one shot injures the league's biggest draw and the response is a one-game suspension, it looks like the league is choosing the old culture over the new reality.